Hello.
I'm sorry we're late.
I know, you're standing me up, I thought.
Uni student timing, you
I
know how it is.
Awful, awful.
Are you ready for your 73 questions?
Let's do it.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Taran.
What do you study?
I study biomedical science and I'm in my third year now.
So why did you choose Warwick?
I just love the community kind of feel on campus, and it seems as though everyone seems to know each other.
Nice. What are your passions, Taran?
I've actually recently taken up cycling, so I'm doing a lot of that at the minute.
Oh, so you're very sporty then?
I try.
How many contact hours per week does a Warwick Biomed student have?
So we have some of the most on campus, so I have about 30 hours in Berkshire, but it does get less and less as the years go on.
Oh, that's almost a full-time job.
It is tough sometimes.
Typical class size?
There's about 150 people on my year, but I'd say about 70 people turn up to lectures every now and again.
Okay, reasonable.
Yeah.
How much homework do you do per day?
Again, it's quite a lot in Berkshire, and then as you get through the years, it depends on how busy your week is to how much time you have to do your homework.
Can we have an hour?
Yeah. Probably about 3 hours a day.
Okay, and are you happy you chose Warwick?
I love it here. It's the best decision I made.
Oh, what is the worst thing about Warwick, if I may ask?
You can probably hear, or we'll probably see, there's a lot of construction going on a lot of the time.
Okay, so fairly distracting.
Can be distracting, yes.
Do students stay on campus after first year?
So after first year, most people will move out, so they'll go to either Coventry or Levington. Levington's a lot more to do, but Coventry can be a bit cheaper for rent.
Oh, that's a great advice tip. Thank you for
Yeah, no
that.
worries.
Important to bear in mind.
Exactly.
Any Warwick stereotypes we should know about? Can you debunk some myths?
Oh yeah, so everyone seems to think that we're Oxbridge rejects, but that's not always true. In fact, Warwick was my first choice university.
Okay, maybe not true for you then, Taran. So how do most people get around campus?
So most people walk. It's quite easy to walk around campus, but otherwise you can use the renter bikes, which are found all throughout on different locations.
Not bad. And
great.
If you have a car, would you recommend bringing it?
For students, probably not, just because most of the parking spaces are reserved for visitors or staff.
Great, thanks for that, Taran. Fill in the blank. If I had known blank about Warwick before I came, I would never have chosen it.
Oh, if I'd have known how bad the SU club is, I would never have chosen it.
No, not up to your standard.
Probably not this time, no.
Okay, if you had to choose a word to describe your uni experience, what would it be?
Eventful. I always seem to have a lot going on.
Okay, you're a busybody.
I tried to be busy, yeah.
How is living around the Levington Spa Coventry area for students?
Amazing. Like I said, there's always something to do. Levington has loads of bars, loads of clubs, and loads of places just to go to enjoy your time.
Okay, it seems like I should try it out.
Absolutely.
What is first year student accommodation like?
It's quite varied, so you've got quite budget and quite expensive. I stayed in Sherborne and I loved it.
What's that coming up ahead?
This building here is the library.
And how many libraries do you guys have?
We have one central library, and every department will have their own sort of mini library on campus in their departments.
And how long do they stay open until?
So this one stays open 24/7, and then your department ones depends on if the department's open, if they stay open.
That is great for exam season.
Exactly, yes.
Any halls you would recommend applying to? Where should we avoid?
Definitely say apply to Sherborne, that's where I stayed. I'd say avoid Whitefield, it's not exactly the best on campus.
Self-catered or catered?
So all of the accommodation at Warwick is self-catered. We don't have any canteens. And by the way, this is a cafe which is just adjacent to the library, so if you are staying late, there's always somewhere to grab a bite to eat.
Ideal.
It's amazing, yeah.
Taran, what is an essential item you should bring when moving in?
I would say a personality. Get ready to meet different people from different walks of life.
That sounds standard, but maybe it's easier said than done.
Exactly.
What is one quality Warwick has that other unis don't?
We have loads of new modern buildings, so although it's a bit annoying all the construction, we have buildings like this, the law school, which is brand spanking new and lovely to see on campus. But we do also have loads of green spaces too, which is important.
Okay, and what's an overrated place then that people go to around campus?
It has to be the SU club. I mean, it's good for first year, but beyond there, probably wouldn't go there again.
Okay, so just not up to your standard,
Not
as I
up
said.
to my, not the party lifestyle, no.
How often do you leave uni?
In Berkshire, probably quite a lot more than I do now. But now I feel like I'm discovering more of like the local spaces, which are quite nice.
Taran, where is this?
So this is the economics department actually. So on this quad, and all of these buildings were newly renovated.
Okay, so some students might have some lectures here or tutorials?
Tutorials, so tutorials or seminars, and then we've got massive lecture halls which are a bit further out.
Right, looks so cozy and close-knit.
It's great, yeah.
So Taran, closest budget places to travel to as a student?
It's quite easy to jump on the train to go to Birmingham, or a lot of people just tend to spend the time in Levington because it's quite nice student vibes there.
That's lovely that your surrounding areas are actually really nice too.
It's amazing, yes, it's great.
Tell us about you. What societies are you involved in?
So I'm a volunteer with St John Ambulance, so that's first aid assistance, but in my first year I used to be a part of TEDx, which was an amazing experience.
So are you Mr. King of Advice?
Oh God, I don't think so.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how sporty is your uni?
Well, funnily enough, we've just recently had a new sports hub that's been renovated and brand new, so
No way.
great, yeah.
Do we see you there all the time then?
Not as much as I'd like to.
Which sports team makes the most noise?
Definitely men's rugby.
Does your uni have any rivalries with other unis?
Probably Coventry, but that's because we're neighbours to them.
Right, basically turf wars.
That's right, yes.
Rate Warwick's Freshers Week out of 10, 10 being the best.
Ooh, I'd probably say 4.
Ooh, that's pretty low, Taran.
Yeah, there's something for everyone, but it wasn't for me.
Okay, so how inclusive would you say the Freshers events are for non-drinkers?
Like I said, there's something for everyone to do, so you don't always have to be drinking to have a good time.
Okay, and what's the best place to chill on campus?
I would probably say the Warwick Business School, which is just behind us. It's great because they've got a cafe which you can go to and you don't have to be a student to get into the building.
Okay, so speaking of business and economics, student finance instalments can be pretty overwhelming. Best budgeting tips?
I would probably say try to remember to leave some money for when the term ends, or if you want to go away for a student getaway. Otherwise it can be quite difficult because you don't get a loan during the term break.
Definitely, especially over summer, I've heard it's tough.
Exactly.
Best tips for getting a good social life study balance?
Always try and do your work during the week.
Best takeaway spot around campus?
There's a Domino's not too far from here and they do great student deals.
How many times per week do students at your uni go out?
You can technically go out every single day of the week, but I'd say most average around 2 or 3.
I love that. It sounds like a pretty active student life culture.
Yeah, it's great.
So, is it a house party or club culture?
I'd probably say club culture to begin with, but as you go on for your time at Warwick, it becomes progressively more house party.
Typical going out look?
I would say wear trainers and wear something that you don't mind getting dirty because it can get a bit messy.
Oh goodness, okay, thanks for the heads up on that one.
No worries.
Ships or hookups? What's the dating scene like?
The dating scene is non-existent.
Oh, come on Taran, it can't be that bad.
It's awful.
Have you ever seen a celebrity around campus?
Yes, not too far from here actually. I saw Professor Brian Cox, the physicist, and Nick Grimshaw, the Radio 1 DJ.
That's a pretty interesting selection.
Quite a variety, yeah.
And speaking more close-knit, who are your people on campus?
I really love my flatmates. I love living with them and I love seeing them on campus as well, just bumping into them. It's great.
That's lovely that you can actually bump into people on campus that you know.
Exactly.
Coolest thing you've then seen on campus?
We had a massive ball pit during Freshers, so it was just great to meet new people and just have fun in a very childish way. By the way, we're just by the bus interchange, so this is really important if you want to get around the local area.
Ah, that's pretty useful, I guess, for those trips to Birmingham or...
That's it, Birmingham, Coventry and Levington. It's really easy to get to via the buses.
I'll bear that in mind. So, do students get part-time jobs or is everyone always well off?
I have a part-time job for the weekends. Some people choose to work, but it does depend on you and if you have the time and the ability to work when you're studying.
So no pressure, but some people do if they need to.
Yeah.
How fashionable is your campus?
I'd say there are some quirky looks on campus, but you can be comfortable if you want to, or make an effort if you do too.
Can you roll into class looking like you've just woken up, or is everyone always well dressed?
I'd say people do make an effort for lectures, some more than others, so I probably wouldn't come in just straight out of bed.
Okay, so typical outfit you would wear to class?
Probably a jeans, a casual shirt, and something which is a bit comfortable, yes.
That's still pretty dressed up, Taran.
Yeah, I'm a bit too extra.
Are you sleep deprived?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, classic. How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
I'd say about 5 or 6, but that's because I've got a new pup.
Oh, okay, maybe it's worth it.
It is, yes.
Give us an idea of a classic uni day timetable.
So wake up and get ready for lectures at 9, then have a tutorial with my professor, then go to lectures, and then have labs in the afternoon.
Oh, that's your 6-hour day gone.
Quite busy.
Ready for partying?
Yes, actually to the tea bar where you can have a drink after your lectures.
Coffee shops or pubs?
I would say coffee shops.
Independents or chains?
Definitely independent.
Where should I go for great food around here?
We actually have a Pret on campus just over there where we're heading.
Where are we heading?
So this is the piazza, so this is the main central area. It doesn't look too busy right now, but during Eurovision, the World Cup, or any events on campus, this is packed with students.
Is it weird? But I can just imagine it.
It's amazing. It's so full and it's so beaming and full of life.
Uh-huh. And where can we find you, Taran, on a typical weekend off campus?
Probably at work, unfortunately.
Oh, and how far is the closest airport?
About 20 minutes on the train.
Okay, that's not too bad. Taran, is your uni diverse?
It's internationally diverse, yes.
Okay, would you say there needs to be more diversity?
It would be nice to see more BAME around campus.
How is the student satisfaction here?
I feel like loads of people enjoy it here.
That's great. Best advice for coping with exam season stress?
Don't forget to exercise and remember to take a break.
Any disadvantages of Warwick Uni?
All the building work going on.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that is a distraction.
It can be quite distracting, but it's for better buildings and better facilities for students.
Is everyone out for themselves at your school, or is there a supportive atmosphere?
I feel like you can get a lot of support from the years above, but it is quite competitive within your year group, but that's not always a bad thing.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree. It's not always a bad thing. Healthy competition's all right.
That's it.
If you could change one thing about your school, what would you change?
Oh, that's a tough one. Maybe bring it closer to campus. Biomedical science is a little bit further out, probably about 7 minutes walk.
Do you prefer uni in the summer or winter?
Definitely in the summer, so you can go and grab a drink after your lectures.
Okay, and as we come to a close, Taran, what activity must a Warwick student do before graduating?
Take part in the sports socials, and that's what we call circles.
Okay, sounds like there's more to that.
It's amazing. You'll have to experience it if you come here.
Oh, I'd love to. Number one tip for success at Warwick?
Ooh, just remember that it's not always about the degree, and it's about the people you meet and the connections you make.
I love that, Taran. So tell us now, what are you doing for the rest of your day?
I'm going to get a bite to eat, so I'll probably leave you here.
Well, those are your 73 questions, Taran. Thank you
very much.
so much.
See you
We'll
soon.
See you
Bye.
Around. Bye-bye.